There is a story that has stayed with me for years. An elderly man once shared something that completely changed the way I think about success. He didn't talk about the business he failed to build. He didn't complain about the mistakes he had made. Instead, he looked at me and quietly said, "The hardest thing to live with isn't failure. It's knowing I never gave myself the chance to find out what was possible." Those words reveal a truth most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. Failure hurts for a while. Regret can stay with you forever. Most people believe the biggest obstacle to success is lack of talent, money, education, or opportunity. It isn't. The greatest obstacle is hesitation. It's knowing what needs to be done, but waiting for the perfect moment that never arrives. Think about your own life. You probably already know what would improve it. Maybe it's improving your health. Maybe it's starting the business you've imagined for years. Maybe it's learning a new skill, repairing a relationship, paying off debt, or finally believing in yourself. The problem isn't a lack of information. The problem is the gap between knowing and acting. That gap quietly steals dream. Every day you postpone an important decision, your excuses become stronger. Every day you delay taking action, fear grows a little larger, while confidence becomes a little smaller. Avoidance feels comfortable in the moment, but comfort has a hidden cost. Every postponed opportunity adds another layer of regret. Eventually, you begin convincing yourself that waiting is wisdom. It isn't. Waiting often becomes another form of surrender. Here's something I've learned after studying successful people from every walk of life. They don't always feel confident. They don't always feel motivated. They don't always know exactly what will happen. They simply decide that action is more valuable than endless preparation. The world rewards movement, not intentions, not plans, not promises. Movement. Many people spend years collecting information. They read books, watch videos, attend seminars, take notes, create detailed plans, yet they never begin. Knowledge without action changes nothing. Imagine standing at the edge of a swimming pool reading every book about swimming. Eventually you have to enter the water. Growth happens through experience, not observation. That is why successful people understand something different. They don't wait until they feel ready. They become ready because they begin. Every small action teaches something no book ever can. One conversation builds confidence. One workout creates momentum. One business call opens new possibilities. One difficult decision changes the direction of an entire life. Action produces clarity. Waiting produces confusion. If you want your future to look different, your daily habits must become different. Small disciplines repeated consistently create extraordinary results. Not because each action is dramatic, because consistency compounds. One page read every day becomes dozens of books. 1 hour invested every morning becomes thousands of hours of mastery. One healthy meal becomes a healthier lifestyle. Success rarely arrives through giant leaps. It grows through ordinary actions repeated long enough. There will always be reasons to delay. You're too busy, too tired, too inexperienced, too old, too young, too uncertain. The list never ends. But neither does opportunity for those willing to move, despite uncertainty. Fear will always accompany meaningful progress. The goal isn't eliminating fear. The goal is refusing to let fear make your decisions. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing your future over your comfort. One powerful lesson changed my perspective forever. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What if I never try?" One question creates anxiety. The other creates urgency. Imagine yourself 5 years from today. What would your future self thank you for beginning today? Would it be exercising, saving money, building a business, learning a language, writing a book, repairing a relationship? The answer probably appeared in your mind immediately. That means you already know your next step. You don't need another sign. You need another action. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in life. The first step is always the hardest because your mind wants to protect you from uncertainty. But after that first step, resistance becomes weaker. Progress creates confidence. Confidence creates bigger action. Bigger action creates bigger opportunities. Everything starts with movement. One useful strategy is removing your ability to negotiate with yourself. If you want to exercise, prepare your clothes before sleeping. If you want to write, sit at your desk before opening social media. If you want to build a business, complete one meaningful task before checking messages. Design your environment so that good decisions become easier than bad ones. Discipline isn't about being stronger every day. It's about making the right choice easier. Another important principle is keeping promises to yourself. Every promise you break weakens self-belief. Every promise you keep strengthens self-respect. Your confidence doesn't come from positive thinking alone. It comes from evidence. Evidence that when you say you'll do something, you actually do it. That reputation begins with yourself. The world eventually notices people who consistently follow through. Reliable people receive greater responsibility. Responsible people earn greater trust. Trust creates opportunities. Character becomes your greatest advantage. Life also moves in seasons. There are seasons for learning, seasons for building, seasons for improving, seasons for enjoying the rewards of consistent effort. Trying to skip the work never changes the outcome. If you refuse to plant today, tomorrow cannot offer a harvest. If you stop growing, you stop expanding your possibilities. Every meaningful achievement demands patience. Not because success is slow, because transformation happens quietly before it becomes visible. Just as a tree develops strong roots before producing fruit, your habits develop your future before anyone else can see it. Never underestimate invisible progress. Many people quit just before momentum begins working in their favor. Keep going, not because it's easy, because consistency eventually becomes unstoppable. Ask yourself 3 simple questions whenever you're tempted to avoid something important. What happens if I act? What happens if I continue waiting? Which version of myself am I becoming through this decision? Those questions cut through excuses and reveal the truth. Most of the time, the pain of action lasts minutes. The pain of avoidance lasts years. At the end of life, very few people regret working toward their dreams. Many regret postponing them. Remember this: your future is built by today's choices, not tomorrow's intentions, not next month's resolutions, today's actions. So before this day ends, choose one meaningful task you've been avoiding. Make the phone call, write the first page, submit the application, start the workout, have the conversation, take the first step. It doesn't need to be perfect. It simply needs to happen, because every remarkable life is built exactly the same way. One decision, one action, one promise kept, then another, and another. Years from now, people may look at your success and believe it happened overnight. Only you will know the truth. It happened on the day you stopped waiting for the perfect moment and decided that progress mattered more than comfort. That day can be today, because your greatest opportunity isn't somewhere in the future. It's hidden inside the next action you choose to take. Don't let another year pass wondering what might have been. Stand up, move forward, trust the process, build the habits, keep your promises, face your fears, and become the person your future self will thank you for becoming. The life you've imagined isn't waiting for luck.